Hello everybody, Dadas here, speaking to you from the Dadas trading room on the Discord platform. Now, this video is a presentation video showing the workings of a certain tool. The idea was ordered by a specific person, and I have tried to do my best. However, the person refused to pay me the required amount. This indicator costs 100 US dollars, and well, it's worth it. It's probably worth a lot more. I don't know. I calculated my work to be this much. However, the person did not agree to pay this amount. Thus, I have this indicator available. Well, perhaps if you like the indicator, if you are ready to pay to my PayPal account the amount of $100, perhaps I will be able to share and give this indicator out for free to the person who had ordered it. Just assuming that perhaps this person cannot afford to pay $100, which I of course understand. However, I will not. I'm not able to work for the amount that that can buy me a breakfast. I'm sorry, but that's not the idea here. So, what is this indicator? The indicator is called Dadas two-trend cross indicator. Well, I don't know if the name is adequate or not. I don't know. Anyway, generally speaking, the idea is like this. We click on a certain candle. Let's call it a high candle, right? And we get a bunch of lines here. We get four lines. Now, the initial span of these lines is defined right here. So I defined it as 13, but we can put in 22, for example, right? I don't know, whatever you like. Because the idea is that you see, if I click here, the initial span is going to be over 22 candles, right? By default, it was over 13 candles. So now the idea is, you see, two of these lines are like selected, right? So we take this anchor of this line, and we drag it over to our required bottom in this case, right? And the indicator replots. So you see, we get one line here, the other trend line here, and we're gonna get this horizontal line here is the price where those two lines cross. Okay, is the price where those two lines cross. Now, it's not gonna be always that they cross exactly in the middle. You see, because this line initially appears, this vertical line, it's called the cross V line, right? Cross V line. It initially appears in the middle of this cross price. However, in order to get to calculate the cross price, we have to calculate it mathematically, and the cross price is not always going to match the actual middle, right? Because we can find another example right here, and we can drag it over here and see what happens. Yeah, and you see that this line, this vertical line, cross V line, has been plotted somewhere in the middle of this cross price, but it's not exactly on the cross price. Now, the next issue with this, with the MT4 here, is that we can, by this type of calculation, we cannot actually find the actual, here, we cannot find the actual time of the cross, because the cross might be on a first the cross point of these two trend lines might be on a time, on a specific time, on a specific candle, or it might not be exactly there. Like right here, this one is not, right? It's somewhere between one candle and the other candle, whereas the timeline on the MT4 is exactly in the middle of this candle, right? So basically the timeline is exactly in the middle of every candle, right? That's the way this works, MT4. So thus the trader has to take this line and put it where he thinks is the closest to the cross. You see, because we can either put the line here or we can put it here. We cannot put it in between. It doesn't work that way. So let's put it right there, right? Okay. So we got another. We don't need this. So what happened right now? Right now we get another line here, and this line is called the invert vertical line. So this is the case where I don't exactly know the idea of the person who ordered this. I can only suspect. I don't know. Anyways, the order was to find this what he called an invert level, right? An invert which is supposed to be an equal distance that we have from this line to this candle. So the same distance from the beginning to the invert line, right? And I figured out that perhaps he was thinking about the invert price being this line right here. So in other words, we can click this line to extend it, right? And we can also click this line to extend it to the right, the cross line. This one is something that that appeared. Okay. Anyways, because we have to be careful with clicking right here, because any time we click somewhere in the range of a candle, we're gonna get another line, right? So it's not. We have to be careful about that. So again, we work like this, right? We drag this one, and it is gonna. So it's best to drop it somewhere outside the range of a candle. It'll adjust itself to the high or to the low, depending on which direction we're plotting. And then it is. Then we can take this line and put it somewhere near, or maybe like this, right? And if we drop it, it's also going to adjust to the prices of high and low right there, and the new invert candle will appear. And I've made this value. In this case, I've made this value the low of the, let's call it, invert candle, right? Now, this is one example, right? If we take a different example right here, this example right here is the example where practically the invert candle matches the same candle which is in the middle, which is exactly in the middle. So it matches the cross. So in other words, we can just click on this line. We can click on this line. Well, we should be able. but sometimes sometimes if something doesn't want to work, we can simply delete, right, and remeasure it again like this. And now by clicking on this candle, we're gonna get the yellow one. So basically it's the same only in this situation, in this case, this price, this time is the same as the cross. So the vertical cross line and the vertical invert lines are on the same level. Of course, the cross price is right there, and the low of this candle for this situation is right there, right? Okay, so I've taken this as the low of this candle. However, if somebody wants me to change it, I can change it. And again, this other line that is not selectable, right, and not selected, this one, it's called the low line. So this is called the high line. This is called the low line because of this of the initial clicking situation, right? And so by clicking on the low line, we can delete the whole the whole thing here. Also, the same thing right there, right? So basically, let's take a look at some other situation. Let's take a look at the situation where we're gonna click right there, and we're gonna drag this to the highest candle, which is probably this one, yeah. And you see that the cross price is right there. This is the cross price, but we have to now drag the vertical cross line over to this, either this candle or this candle, because again we see that the actual crossing was somewhere in the middle, in between, which is impossible to put a line there, right? So let's do it this way, right? So now, if we've done this, we've got the invert time, let's say. I don't know, we can call it like this, and we have this high price now for this case. Now, okay, so if I move this back, the whole thing looks like this. So I can extend this one too. The whole thing looks like this. Now I don't know what it's supposed to mean. I mean, basically the idea looks to me very much like Fibonacci retracements, only viewed from perhaps a different perspective, right? But like, well, at least that's about the same idea. I mean, we are seeing some kind of a reaction of the price at this level, right? And now, but it also depends where we're gonna put this line. If we're gonna put this line here, or we're gonna put this line there. Okay, if we're gonna put this line there, then then we get perhaps a better line. But can we know that? Can we know that beforehand? Can we know if this is if it's that one or another one beforehand? So before we see the situation, well, how can we know that? I don't know. I mean, somebody has to make themselves a rule. For example, like if the line is crossing in between candles, then choose the further one to the right rather than the one before. I don't know. You know, those are like rules somebody has to work with. Anyways, in this situation, if the trader were to get in long right here, then this trader would have most probably taken a loss, because again, this trader wouldn't know whether the price would go further down or come back, right? So basically, in this situation wasn't as clear as the other one, yeah. Okay, so we do this. We do this just by clicking. Well, here we can check another situation. So here's another situation, right? In the same way. Here the situation is still a different one, because here the price crossing is on the left side of the middle of the line. So if we move it over here, we're gonna get the invert level right there, right? So like on the other side. So I don't know. Basically, I don't know, because I don't actually know the idea of the trader. I mean, this trader, when ordering this tool from me, couldn't even express himself clearly about what he wanted. I had to ask a million questions in order to get the idea of what the idea is about. And finally I figured out finally I made it I made it clear for the trader what the idea is, right? But I still don't know such details as which is supposed to be the invert price, because that's why I just by observation like this, I've decided to make the invert price this way and not the other way, right? So for one direction it is the low, and for the other direction is the high. So yeah. So here it becomes the low. Anyways, by moving this, we should be able. Yeah, we're gonna change this. But if something doesn't work, then we just have to delete the measurement, right? Let's see now. I just moved it one candle because I'm not certain here if I mean the cross line shows me that the actual cross price is right here, right? So that's why I plotted this cross price to be able to know more clearly where the cross price is. Now the problem here is that visually, I mean, in this case, it is not possible to find out the actual crossing of the lines by reading the line prices. It's only possible by doing a mathematical calculation, and of course, there is a mathematical calculation that we can use to calculate the crossing of two trend lines, or two sloping lines, let's say, and that formula I'm using here. And like I said before, because it's done like that, it is impossible to figure out by the mechanisms of the MT4 of the MetaTrader 4 to get the time where the actual crossing occurs. Well, it's impossible. Thus, we have to do it manually. Thus, we have to look for this level manually. We cannot mathematically say that it's exactly here or it's exactly there, right? So sometimes it's gonna be precise. Other times it's not going to be precise. Now, what would be the application of this for trading? Well, if I thought hard, if I thought for a little while about it, for me it would be just as good as any other tool, just as good as the DSWS or whatever, or my Dada's ATR ruler. I mean, it's just as good because the trader is supposed to trade the price action, not the actual, let's say, a ruler that that they are using. Yes, because if it doesn't matter what kind of ruler tool you are using and how you are measuring the potential, let's say, points or reverse points or swing points or maybe continuation points. Well, it doesn't matter, because the price can always turn around at this point, or break this level and go in the other direction. Now, the idea is that the trader has to watch carefully the price action and figure out whether the market has a tendency to go up or the market has a tendency to go down, right? Because it's all about tendencies, trends and tendencies, right? So a tool can be as useful as any other tool if somebody has an idea to use it. Because as we can see here, sometimes sometimes the price is gonna turn around, other times the price isn't gonna turn around, because we can find I don't know, some other situation. I don't know. Okay, here's something different, right? Something different. So it's like this. We gotta drag this over to the highest point, right? Now the crossing here is basically the same, so would be like this. However, the price is over there, and this one is over here. Now, what does this mean? I don't know. What does this mean? Can I trade this? Because in this situation, I see that there is the price, perhaps, I mean, this level is perhaps becoming a resistance, and I might be willing to go short, but then the price turns around, and now I'm willing to go long, right? I could be. Yeah. Now, we delete everything like this, and if those lines stay, we just click like this. So yes, I don't know, maybe let's try this one, right? Maybe this is another idea. I don't know. I mean, you see, I can drop it right here. It's gonna adjust to where it's supposed to be. Now, where is the actual crossing? Right here, probably. Oh, it's not exactly right there. I don't know. Is it here? Maybe it's here. So then we have this line, and we have this line. What does it say? Whatever the trader wants it to say, right? Okay, so maybe I'm not using it correctly. Maybe the trader has a different idea of using it. That the trader hasn't told me exactly, right? I don't know. Let's see this situation. Not like this. Like, where's the crossing? Like this. Here's the crossing, right? Okay, so we click here, we click here. I don't know. I mean, I could do it with just two lines, without all these complications. But whatever. Maybe it's not supposed to be like this. Right. So let's look at this situation. I don't know. Let's put it all the way up here, right? Like this. This is more or less, I would say this is the crossing. So it's like this, right? So this is supposed to be the invert price. I don't know. Well, it worked. It worked right here, right? It worked. I mean, the market sort of bounced off right there and went up, but Maybe it worked. I don't know. Okay, so the next one is right here, right? And we go up all the way up to there, and we get this. Now you see, now the actual crossing is somewhere here. What does this mean? Well, like everything, there's a trend, and at a certain moment the trend ends, right? The trend stops. And it's up to the trader to figure out whether the market wants to continue up or is gonna go down, right? Okay. So if anybody is interested in helping this trader that is reluctant to pay the amount that I want, and basically it is $100 paid to my PayPal account. So if somebody is willing to purchase this for this trader, then please do. Then I will send this trader this indicator for free and let them use it to whatever extent they want. If you are interested by yourself in this indicator, well, of course, yeah, it's available. Please contact me then. Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks for today. See you next time. Bye.